This is the man from Modesto. This dream has been on my mind. It keeps returning to me over and over repeatedly during the last 2 weeks. And so I've come to the realization finally that this is a dream I need to share. Now I had this dream many years ago, and it actually took me a few years to understand the interpretation. This is the dream. It's kind of short. It starts off, there's a rich woman. She's a very heavy woman. She's dressed in a kind of a nice blue dress, and she has these really fat hands. Each finger is kind of tapered because it's fatter at the base, and she has rings on, she has jewelry on, her hair is done nice, and she's walking very relaxed, almost floating with happiness. She's not stressed or worried about things. She just has a nice life. And in her home, things are neat. She's not a slob or anything, but she is a very corpulent woman. Everything is neat in her house, and she has this bed. She has a nice brass headboard, nice brass footboard. She's got like a high bed, a large size bed, which she sleeps in by herself. Like everything is nice for her. She has a very comfortable living. It doesn't look like she wants for anything. One night she goes to bed, and she wakes up in the morning, and she finds out through some sort of media that she now has no money. She's completely broke. She's penniless. And at first she cries, and then she remembers something, and she stands up and she begins to look around her home. She's looking in the shelves, she's looking in the bookshelf, she's looking in the closets, and now I begin to see what it is that she's looking for. And what she remembers is that she used to own this huge blue diamond, and it's faceted like kind of hexagonal near the top, and then it tapers down to like a point like this. And of course it's a cut stone. It's not in rough shape or anything, but the thing is huge. Even though she's a large woman, this thing is like maybe slightly larger than her torso. I mean, it's just this giant, it's got to be basically priceless. It was a really nice color, and it was pure. There were no flaws in it. It was just a magnificent stone. And she remembers, I own this, like I have this, where is it? And she's looking for it everywhere. She goes into the kitchen, she even looks in the refrigerator, in the freezer. She comes back to the bedroom, she looks under the bed. She's just looking everywhere. And the dream is her looking for it everywhere. And then finally the dream ends, and a strong male voice says, it is inside of her. And it took me years to realize the thing she remembered that was so precious to her, so priceless and so valuable, was Jesus, was the Holy Spirit. And the voice of probably an angel was telling me it is inside of her. And so the meaning of this dream is this corpulent, blessed woman is the United States or Americans or American Christianity, something along these lines. And there will come a time when she will find out that her wealth is gone. For a time, for a moment, she's upset. And then she remembers, Jesus. And that is the key of the message. And that always should be the key of the message is don't forget Jesus. In a time of trouble, always turn to Jesus. Don't be afraid or intimidated or ashamed to have a very small problem and turn to Jesus. What you want is this automaticity. Just even program yourself. In everything, I'm going to turn to Jesus. No matter what happens, Jesus. I was so happy one day. I was driving my truck. It was a wet road. It was a sharp kind of a curve, and the tail end started to fishtail. It's a light pickup truck, and I thought, man, this thing can go off. But the first thing I did was I said, Jesus! And the truck straightened out, and I stayed on the road. There was other traffic coming. It would have been a serious accident, but I just said, Jesus! I didn't have time to pray. I just called on the one that I trust in, and the truck straightened out. Somehow it went straight. I didn't turn the wheel, nothing. I didn't turn into it because I didn't have always turn to Jesus. No matter what happens, great or small, Jesus is there. He has never left you. He's never left me, and nor will he ever. I will never leave nor forsake you. That is the promise of Jesus. If calamity comes, you don't have to look far. He's inside of you. This is the man from Modesto reminding you as always to pray or be defeated.